Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to be joined by Oregon Governor John Kitzhaber. Governor, thanks for being here. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. All right, so tell us, what are you doing in town here today?
Well, you know, the jobs numbers came out this week. We've created another 7,500 jobs in March, but the recovery's been spotty, and Southern Oregon has lagged behind in many instances. So I was down here looking at sort of the job creation efforts, and we spent some time at Soretti and had some incredibly inspirational stories of some sort of leading-edge innovation. There's a young man who's developing what's called 3D agriculture inside of basically a container that can grow as much produce as 2 acres out on the ground.
Wow.
Another young man who was on food stamps 2 years ago and is now running a sort of a hummus-based food business. You know, in spite of the difficulties we've had in the economy, there are these points of light, these exciting activities, and a lot of them are happening right here in this area.
Well, very inspirational as well, too. Well, since we're talking about the economy, what is your economic plan for Oregon?
Well, I think part of it is to continue what we've been doing the last 3 years. You know, we've created almost 100,000 jobs since 2011. And it's based on what we call regional solutions, which essentially try to build regional economies. The way you're going to get out of the recession here is going to be different than the way they're going to do it over in Northeast Oregon. So here, we were down here a month ago. We were able to get the Rough and Ready lumber company back up and running. So that's the true natural resource economy. But there's a blend with entrepreneurs and leading edge ideas that we were looking at this afternoon. So it's really trying to maintain the natural resource base in our rural communities, but also add a diversity through entrepreneurism.
What would you like to see with Oregon's tax system?
Well, I'd like to see a lot of things with it. I'd like to see it a lot more stable. I'd like to see the incentives in the tax system more aligned with the economy we want to see in the next 20 years rather than the economy we had in the last 20 years. And, you know, I've got a group together looking at sort of what the options are to make some modifications to our tax system, and we're looking at doing something within the next 2 years.
Interesting. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have much more with the governor in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Oregon Governor John Kitzhaber. So, Governor, what are you most proud of with this most recent term?
I think I'm most proud of the progress we've made moving past the recession. You know, we've gone from a very high unemployment rate, about 11% in 2011, down to 6.5%, created almost 100,000 jobs. Obviously, we still have areas where, you know, we need to do more, and a lot of those are in rural parts of the state, but I think we're making progress on this front, and we'll continue to work on that.
Yeah, and what would you like to do if re-elected to get Southern Oregon and Eastern Oregon working again?
Well, really to continue what we're doing right now, that is trying to figure out innovative ways to maintain the natural resource-based economy, which will always be a very, very important part of our state. I mean, agriculture and timber are number 2 and 3 economy in terms of economic output. But also we need to diversify the economy. And as we talked about earlier, Southern Oregon, in this area in particular, is sort of on the leading edge of creating new ideas, new innovative ways to employ people by focusing on developing regional economies rather than looking at the state as a whole.
Okay, and turning the other way with it, what is your biggest regret or biggest disappointment in this most recent term?
Well, I think we're all disappointed in the technology failure with the state's website, and you know, I think we're turning that around. We've changed out the personnel. We've got a guy named Clyde Hamstreet in there right now, sort of getting the organization turned around, and we're making a decision probably within a week of what we'll do with that technology going forward to be ready for the fall enrollment period. But I do want to share with everybody that we've enrolled a total of about 360,000 Oregonians. So notwithstanding the technology failure, the real objective here is getting people enrolled in quality health plans, and we're doing as good there as any other state.
If re-elected this year, you'd be one of the longest-serving governors in the history of the country. Does that mean anything to you?
Well, you know, I'm 67, so it was a long, hard decision to decide to do this again, but I feel that we've started some important things in the last 3 years, and I feel it's a way that I can give back to a state that's been very, very good to me, and a state that my son's going to grow up in.
Very good. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.